morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my channel. My name is Julie. Today on Yoga and More, we're going to celebrate the new moon. Today's new moon is in Pisces, and it is the last new moon of the astrological year. The timing makes it especially potent for closure and completion. So that's what this class is going to be. Closing, completing, and then deciding where we go from here. So I have two questions for you to ponder. The first one is, what do you want to carry forward? The second one is, what do you want to leave behind? Your invitation. The new moon is about allowing yourself to feel, to imagine, to desire, and to receive. Pay attention when your mind tries to tell you that something is impossible. Notice where fear arises when you envision your greatest dreams. Now, quite often, after an abusive relationship, it can feel really hard to believe that life is ever going to get better. And it can feel really hard to believe that we can heal, we can let go, and we can move forward from the situation, and sometimes from the person. But the truth is, your life can only get better. And quite often, we're given dreams, and these dreams might be given to us when we were younger. So it might be a childhood dream, but we're given these dreams for a reason. And you're never given a dream without the capacity to make that dream come true. And quite often, the only thing that is stopping that dream from coming true is your belief. So I ask you today to join me as we celebrate the new moon and we open up the body so that we can receive graciously and completely. But also during the class, be willing to let something go. Because we have to leave things behind in order for new things to enter. So for today's class, you're going to need a cushion, a big cushion. So the first pose we're going to move into is butterfly, but a dynamic butterfly, as we just start to open the hips for the next pose. So bring the soles of the feet together and start to flap them butterfly wings. And then bring the knees to stillness and just use your hands just to gently open the hips. Right, the next pose we're going to move into is giraffe. So if we take the left leg and bend the left leg, engaging the foot, so the ankle and the knee are in line. And the further you take that foot back, the deeper into the hip that you get. And then the right leg is going to be brought into the groin. And then sit up, whoops, to the best of your ability. And then you're going to take the hands behind you as you relax into the pose. So this is an internal and external rotation of the hips. You can gently take the head back if you'd like to, but please do so mindfully. And this will just stretch out the neck. And slowly make your way back up into a sitting position. And we're just going to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. One more time. The next time you come over to the left, bring the left leg behind you, well, to the side. So knee and ankle in line. And how far back this leg comes dictates how deep in the hip you get. And then bringing the left leg into the groin. And then slowly taking the hands back. Gently raise the head if you took the head back. Make your way up into a sitting position. And then just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. One more time. And then take the legs out in front of you. Give them a shake. And the next pose we're going to move into is the forward bend. So you might like to remove any excess flesh from your bottom so that you're sitting directly on your sitting bones. And this is where your cushion can come in handy to make the forward bend not only more accessible but more comfortable. So place a cushion on your legs and you're slowly going to fold over the legs and onto the cushion. If you don't like the feeling of the cushion near your face, you can always put one hand under the forehead to give you some space between the cushion and your mouth and nose. And if you're struggling to come down to the cushion, you can always fold the cushion over double. The same if you've got a bolster, place the bolster on its side instead of flat. And the same with your bed cushions, fold them over. However, to make the pose more accessible for you. And then slowly make your way back up into a sitting position. Take the feet to the side, come up onto your knees, and we're going to move into extended child's pose. So knees in line with hips, palms flat on the mat as you slowly start to walk the hands out in front of you as you bring the head down to the mat. And then bend the elbows, bringing the hands together in prayer, and take the hands at the back of the head. So this is a slightly different version of extended child's pose. Which activates different muscles in the upper arms and the shoulders. Breathe nice and deep. Feeling the lungs expand and contract. Feeling the heart. And breathing all the way down into the stomach and the abdomen. And then bring the hands back down onto the mat. Raise the head and slowly walk your hands back as you come into tabletop. The next pose we're moving into is threading the needle. So knees in line with hips, left hand placed, fingers spread on the mat as you take the right hand straight up to the ceiling and then bring that right hand underneath the left, making sure that your shoulder and wrist are in line, bringing the ear and the side of the face down to the mat. And then you can take the left hand either straight out in front, which is a lovely stretch. You can tent the fingers to the side of the neck, which can help to rotate, help you to get into the pose a little bit more. Or take the hand over and tuck into the groin, which is a bound, threading the needle. Unbind the hand if you had it bound, placing the left hand under the left shoulder. Push up as you feed that hand back out. And then take the left hand straight up to the ceiling, threading it under the right, bringing the side of the head and the ear down to the mat, and then taking the right hand either straight in front, tented to the side, or over the back and tucked in the groin. bind the right hand if you had it bound, bringing the right hand under the right shoulder as you push up, threading the left hand back out, pull down onto your shins, so kneel on your shins, take your bottom to one side as you bring the legs out in front. And we're going to move now into a lying position. So engage your core and slowly make your way down onto the mat. So the next pose we're going to move into is a reclined twist. So what I want you to do is bend your knees and bring both of your knees into your chest. Give them a hug. Bring the head to the knees if you can. Give them a hug. And then relax. And what we're going to do is take both knees over to the right. So you would use your left hand to guide those knees, the right hand to guide the knees, taking the left hand either straight out to the side or in cactus arms. And that's going to ground this shoulder. So we want to keep this shoulder on the mat as we take the knees stacked on top of one another over to the side. So whenever you're ready, take those knees over to the side. And then if you'd like to stretch the neck, slowly take the neck, the head over to the left. And then when you're ready, engage your core as you bring both knees back up to centre. Hug them into the chest again. And then when you're ready, using the left hand to guide both knees over to the left. Choose your preferred arm position, cactus arm or right arm straight out to the side to ground that right shoulder as you take both knees slowly over to the left. And then mindfully taking the head over to the right. And then bring the head back to centre. Engage your core as you bring your knees back to centre. Give yourself a hug. And then take the knees to the outside of the mat and just allow your knees to fall together. So, take the feet to the outside of the mat and allow your knees to fall together, just to decompress the bottom of the back. Just for a couple of breaths. And now prepare to take up space. So take the feet to the outside of the mat. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides. Take the arms out to the sides with the palms facing up. Feel all points of contact between you and the floor. Know that you are supported and that you are loved. This is where we end today's practice. Thank you so much for joining me today with this new moon yin yoga practice.